You'll have to excuse me in advance because I already know that I'm feeling some type of way and I'm on some petty BS. Petty BS. So, you know what I'm going to do today? Today, we're going to call out city, community, corruption, and hidden secrets. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to direct it at my community. Not necessarily my town, but not excluding. But extending it, we'll say extending it to the county, right? So just because I'm busting my community out doesn't mean this is not going to resonate with your situation in your town and community because we are a collective. We have our own community we belong to. Because obviously we're not welcome in these ones. So let's bust some shit out because I'm sick of these people and their crap. And I've been sitting on secrets and sitting on secrets and keeping my mouth shut so that people can, anyway. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get heady. Ooh, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get heady. Okay, so first off, we know that there's sex trafficking going on. And it doesn't have to be necessarily your typical hooker walking down the street or date in a hotel room either. It's people in your community who you don't even suspect are involved with these people that someone can just text or call for, I got 15 minutes in my day before I swing home to my wife. Let me go get a BJ. Yeah, we got that going on here. All right, but let's not limit ourselves. There's a whole bunch to talk about. Lamborghini in the cop car with the pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Pull over. We've got officers on the payroll, right? So these people are comfortable enough to do what they do because they feel like they have their own form of protection. We have assimilation. So there is so it's not one group, it's multiple groups. Think about the Power Rangers and how, or Captain Planet and how they combine their powers to make one badass monster. So it's kind of like that. There's not one group involved here. There's multiple groups here that are involved, and they really form the pieces that run this whole machine. It's not one group, right? And whenever it comes to assimilation, that means the numbers and the power and the strength seem intimidating, overwhelming, and enchanting to those who are aware of its existence. And some of them feel like, even if they do have a moral code or they had some other intention or agenda and then got swayed off of their path, i.e. politicians, uh i.e. sheriff's department, corruption. Not everybody starts off bad. People have good intentions, but then they figure out that this is going on under the surface and how immensely powerful it is, and they feel the need to assimilate into the machine. These people not only have minions under them that feel the need to assimilate and accommodate them, they also are so power drunk that they feel like they can convince the people that they are using to run these agendas, i.e., the BJ givers, the hookers, the dope boys, all of it, they can convince them to be a part of this plan, even if they aren't benefiting at the same level as the main players because of the pressure, because the intimidation of the power. And some people aren't naive, and they just think that there's more in it for them, or that somehow they're going to get a come up. Like they'll just work their way to the ranks and they'll be up there too one day and not have to worry about, their needs being met. They'll be set as long as they be obedient and do what they're told and do a good job and impress the heavy hitters. They'll be all right. We have assimilation too. In some of these groups and organizations, there are, I don't want to say rituals, but it's kind of like hazing and kind of like getting jumped into a gang. There are some things that people are willing to do in order to assimilate themselves or to be able to belong. And when I say assimilate, enunciate the ass. People who are perfectly heterosexual are taking it in the you know where so they can be a part of this group. And in some of these cases, it's being recorded so that they're being blackmailed with this information also. Now you can't leave because we have you with this information. Or come to our sex party where everybody's doing everybody, but there's hidden cameras and they got you all for blackmail now. Wow. Wow. Taking that deck away, getting a new deck. Look at all those cards. So whenever something comes out, it's supposed to be gay, bisexual. What did I just say? What did I just say? I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with that, but there is something wrong with being something that you are not to be a part of a group. There is something wrong with trying to assimilate and make people be this way. Ooh, it burns me up. It burns me up. Little bitty and butterfly in the reverse. They are getting some of these people in the organizations that are assimilating into the group are following in familial footsteps. So they're following in the footsteps of their forefathers. Their grandpa or their dad was in this secret society or in this gang or in this club. So they want to be in the club too. Maybe they didn't want to be in the club, but maybe their family member was always in it. And part of being in the club, you know how your parents push things upon you that they wanted for themselves, and they kind of influenced you before you were ever even old enough to decide what you want to do? Some of these people that are being assimilated into the group have been targeted since they were children. We're talking about, hold on a second. We're talking about predators who have their eyeballs on little bitties before they even hit puberty, before they have even transformed. So little boys and little girls of the people that belong in these organizations are being targeted. Here you will see higher numbers and instances of incest, of molestation, of earlier childhood introductory sexual activity, like no matter which way. And unbeknownst to these children, whenever it's happening to them, that it's orchestrated. Why? To get them prepped, fluffed. You know, like in porn, they have a fluffer, somebody that gets you ready for the scene. They're getting you ready, they're programming you, they're desensitizing you for the life, for the organization, for the role that you're supposed to be playing, for you to become compliant and obedient and to do what you're told. So, in a sense, it's not about the sexual activity, it's about the control and about figuring out who is pliable, who's a good little robot, who's a good little kitty cat. Like, it's very, very graphic and visual, but I'm literally like, whenever a mom's getting ready to have a baby, right before the baby crowns and it's getting ready to come out, the nurse comes and she's like, stretch, 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 stretch. I'm seeing that, but it's not a woman I'm seeing it on, if that gives you any visuals. Like, I'm literally seeing somebody getting somebody ready to be able to handle what's coming to them. We have acorn here. So it starts off as a seedling and then grows stronger and stronger and stronger until that foundation is in. Sorry, I thought. And I can't even formulate words properly right now. Impenetratable, which is the like an oxymoron in itself. But also with acorn, I made a Facebook page several years ago that I wanted to do for for the support of addicts in the community. And with acorn here, I feel like if you, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of the people that are fucked up on addiction in your community, it's because they are these targeted individuals and they're trying to heal and cover up. I'm not even going to say heal because it's not what it is. They may be trying to, but it's not working. They're trying to cover up their trauma of being these targeted individuals, of having these things happen to them, of being preyed upon whenever they were children, and not realizing that it was an orchestrated event due to the adults that are around them and the shit that they are dabbling in. Oh, I'm so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I'm so mad. This one was in the reverse. It says, there's nothing wrong with shooting as long as the right people get shot. Man down, man down. They are shooting the innocent. There is nothing, like I said, about bisexuality, about being gay, about dabbling. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. What is wrong is when it's not the right people getting shot. If you're forcing this upon people who didn't have any prior desire or knowledge of or influence to, then you're not shooting the people that need to be shot. The people that need to be shot are the people that it's consensual with, right? I'm sorry. I'm so mad. I'm mad and I'm sad. I told you I was already on one today. We have also blue collar. Some of these higher up heavy hitter individuals may target the children of blue collar workers. So people that have like less money than them and Some of these parents are even aware of what's going on with their children, and they let it slide because they get a little payoff, because they're blue collar workers, and maybe they only make enough to make ends meet, and money is tempting. So disgusting. And they tell them, oh, they won't remember. They won't remember. Here, take this little $200. $200. Like, it's not even worth it. They don't even hold out for a higher value. So once that money is spent in the first day or in the next day, that's trauma that this person is healing from, like the child, the target, whoever is healing from for decades to come, because some assholes wanted to wield and abuse their power over needy individuals who, like, they took advantage of their vulnerabilities and of their lack. This card is Clint. I didn't say it this time. This is my Clint. I got my Clint Eastwood deck cards in there. The good and the bad and the ugly decisions deck. They're all mixed in, but it says Clint because Clint is my dream guy. All right, so some of these people can come as a knight in shining armor, or a hero, or an upstanding citizen that you think is there to help you. It can come wrapped as everything you ever wanted or had hoped for. And then we have the N in the parentheses, which leaves the word, right? So it's not just boys, it's little girls too. Just children being taken advantage of. Some of you, whether you're male or female, or whether the person that targeted you is male or female, engaged in oral with people that preyed upon you, that your parents trusted to be around you. They either trusted to be around you, or they knew that they could not trust them to be around you, but they come in being everything that they want to be. And they're holding this potential that they could have that stability one day also over their head, and they just let them do what they do. We have out to pasture. And some of y'all's cases, some of the people that directly attacked you or were involved in your corruption, let's say that, have already met their maker. They're not here anymore. Oh fuck, that's not the right one. Anyway, but what I was showing you also was hobo transient. They're not here anymore, or they are in a position where they have lost things. Not only that, but with hobo transient, I guess getting off the, well, it's not really off the sexual stuff, but with hobo transient, another thing that they do is wield their power, like I said, over the needy. And they get people who are needy or addicted to drugs to do their bidding and to do their dirty work. And some of this dirty work could be things like planting cameras. I need you to get into this person's house, and I need you to place this here. If you do, I'll give you something. Alright, so let's go into the tarot cards. We have Temperance. Things, even though that there have been so many injustices and so much pain and so much trauma to occur with either you personally or in your community as a whole, it has been a long road of recovery, but over time, people have been healing. People have been healing. Some people in their own ways, like I said, maybe misguidedly, some people clung to drugs in order to cover up the pain, and some people thought it was healing it. Some people actually sought out therapy and got some kind of help from medical professionals. And it's like, say the molestation, for instance. In some families, a decade or decades ago, being molested by somebody was something that we don't talk about. We don't talk about it. It's hush hush. Shh, 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 shh. You be quiet. But also over time, as a collective generationally, we're letting go of some of that old dogma and beliefs, and healing, and the idea of healing is becoming more accessible and readily available. And allowable, but to an extent. Because some people still aren't allowed to talk. Allegedly. For entertainment purposes only. My mama taught me to be a rebel. Yow! We got 7 of Swords. But the shit that was going on back then, a decade ago, 2 decades ago, and everybody was shh, hush, hush, hush about it while we abused children, it didn't go away. And the people that were controlling things behind the scenes, that secret society organization, if you're from my community, you know what organization or group that is, what groups those are. You know what it is. And one of them you don't hear about that much anymore. But they never went away. They never went away. They just became more sneaky, and they were doing things behind the scenes, and they left behind. They made it look like they left, but they left some plants here. They left some, like, I don't even know the word for it, but senior officers or whatever of the group, maybe a lot of them did leave, but they left members here to maintain a foundation or a hold, to have a stake in something. And they check in with those people. Yes, they're still overlooking and watching. They still have communication with people here. Yeah. And this secret operations, which is the trafficking. Right now, we're just talking about the sex. We're not talking about the other shit, which also exists. And look at this building back here. So we have multiple levels here at this building. And this either gives me like plantation, hotel vibes, or like people that are living in a really big, nice house that some may mistake for a mansion. Oh. They left people here out in the boondocks to run, we'll call them managers, to basically run things on the ground, to keep the girls in line. And they also have basically their victims, whenever they get caught, like when and if the victims of the trafficking get caught, they have them taking the fall, taking the blame, taking the charge, and keeping their mouth shut. Either under the threat of some harm can come to them if they don't, or if you do, be a good little girl or boy, we'll reward you for your loyalty. And what ticks me off is there are people in the community who know who these people are. Just like those blue collar parents who allowed what happened to their children to happen to their children. So the people in the community who know who these people are, not only know who they are, but are working with them, are allowing the victimization to occur in their community. Like, I'm not even going to say by proxy. They're full on in cahoots. Because why? Because they're going to have a little bit more money. They're going to have a little bit more standing in the community. They'll have a piece of property and a nice house to pass on to their molested grandchildren, who don't ever talk about it because that's not what we do. But whenever you grow up, you get to take my place, you see? And you'll be a high-standing member of society, so just shut the fuck up. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. They had been planting some seeds. They had been wanting some things to take root here. They wanted something to take off. Maybe they have multiple income streams. Like I said, it's not just the sex trafficking, it's also drug trafficking. It's also fraud in regards to small businesses, paperwork, loans, stuff like that. But it's like they are trying to, like, why would they leave when this is a good, why would they leave the area when they were making so much money off of the locals and off of, in my area specifically, we have a military base not too far away, so they're getting money off of soldiers and stuff constantly. Like, people are being shipped in and out, so you constantly have like new clientele. Like, why would y'all think that they were here in the 70s and then they left? Why would you leave good commercial property? You didn't leave. You made it look like you left, and you left some managers behind to run the store. So they never gave up on making the money in this area. And not only that, but they wanted to expand upon their operation, which got them involved with other groups that they previously weren't involved in or involved with. Gang, gang. Yeehaw. But their desire to grow the operation thus far has been empty investments. I don't know if people keep fucking up or if people are smuggling money from the heavy hitters, which would be a mistake. Shame, shame, shame. They're gonna find out. They're gonna find out. Or if they just left doofuses down here who can't stay out of their own product long enough to run a business. So y'all are in the red. Y'all are in the red right now. I feel like maybe quit while you're ahead and have less charges and have lost less money. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because by the time that I'm done, you're going to have less players. We have the Ace of Swords and the reverse. Somebody is not being forthright. Some upright citizen is not being forthright in their communications with their business partners, with the community, with the public. Everything that comes out of their mouth is smooth like butter. It's an illusion like only a playboy of the playboyiest playboys could elude. It's like the Pied Piper, right? Like just whatever they say, people fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker, and it's to cover up the shady shit that's been going on in the back. These shady investments that have actually not benefited them and actually are not going anywhere. And I'm getting the feeling like this could be a lawyer or somebody who represents the community in some kind of way as a speaker. They try to make it look like this is somebody who smiles to your face, but behind the scenes they're willing and dealing and trying to get that bottom dollar. It's all an illusion. Look at these donuts and coffee that I brought for the house showing. We care about our community and the less fortunate, so we're going to invest our time and energy into a Habitat for Humanity project. But if we didn't give the house to the person who's actually needy, it might be an opportunity to funnel some of this money from some of these different projects. And if we get it in somebody else's name, we can pin it on them. But fail. They may have tried it. They may have tried it for a long time. It may have seemed like it was working for a long time, but they're gonna get caught up. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Their bad intentions has made connections with people that are not actual, true, loyal connections. There's no real loyalty in this group. The demon and spirit of greed has taken over everybody. So there's no loyalty. It's every man for himself. So there's somebody that is within this group, aware of the plan, has been a cog in the plan, who doesn't really have any real love or loyalty to this group. And they may change up on them. Probably because it's every man for himself, and it's like only a matter of time before y'all get caught. So if they spill the beans on you before somebody comes and just digs all of it up, then maybe they'll get less of a sentence than you, or maybe they'll get immunity, but you didn't do a good job of securing this person's loyalty, of taking care of them. If y'all wasn't so chintzy and greedy with your riches and your fortunes, tossing people a little $200 or a little baggie of meth, you know, if y'all wasn't so fucking chintzy, then maybe you could have bought them, but you didn't. We have Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This endeavor has been nothing but a failure, and any attempts that you have had in order to stop some kind of information from coming out or to stop somebody from receiving something that is theirs has failed repeatedly over and over. You are by definition failures. And you know what? I feel like I said enough to kickstart a little bit of something. So that's going to be enough for right now. But I'm determined. So I'll be back. Oh, I'll be back. Y'all might be determined, but don't underestimate me. That would be a mistake.